Good day and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another Live the Fuel show. This is, well, once again today, now a third spontaneous podcast. And I want to go ahead and set the precedent right now. This is not our normal programming. This is not our normal show. This is happening real time on Friday, February 21st. I am targeting an aggressive campaign, a GoFundMe campaign. I haven't launched a GoFundMe in over a year. Last time was to help a kid with cerebral palsy to get him on a bike. This time we're going much more powerful. This is a call to action, a public service announcement in the name of domestic violence, domestic abuse, and whatever other professional terms are out there. I'm just going with those two for now because I have a new guest co-host joining me today to help me understand and share this message more properly because this is all happening real time. And this is inspired by, unfortunately, a close colleague and now friend and now family member of all of us, Debbie. And our hashtag for today is Free Debbie. So without further ado, her colleague, her friend, her fellow passionate, Tammy Munson, welcome.
Thank you so much, Scott. Glad to be here.
So we are literally streaming this live over Live the Fuel. I got you tagged up just like I did this morning after I literally 5 minutes after activating the GoFundMe page for Debbie. I'm streaming live on my Facebook. I'm streaming there. Then a few hours ago, shout out to Lonnie Beauchamp and Ruel from our NSNG No Sugar, No Grains communities. They happened to call me because they just started finding out about this from Vinny Tortorich and everybody else. And everybody's like, what's going on? What do I got to do? Next thing you know, I'm recording for his podcast just to tell his story. And then you messaged me like, hey, let me know if I need to do anything else. I'm like, yes, let's do that.
Let's do this. This is, yeah. Does
that sum it up? Does that sum up for now?
I think it does. Yeah. Pretty well, Scott.
Let's pause on this. This is actually the power of social media, podcasting, the first world technology we have. Mm-hmm. You and I can stop our day, which literally was today. I mean, I don't even know how much work I totally pushed off. I'll find out the rest of the night and into the weekend because this struck me so hard, so fast. I couldn't slow down. As you could tell, I kind of ripped the lid off and just started going.
Yeah.
What are we talking about here? We're talking about hashtag Free Debbie. We're talking about our GoFundMe. I'm going to start off right now. Ladies and gentlemen, hearing this, if you want to pause this podcast or pause this video, come back and listen to it later, go visit bit.ly /Free Debbie. That'll route you directly to the bigger URL address that GoFundMe gives you. And we will be talking today about the title of that campaign is Help Free Debbie from Domestic Violence.
Absolutely.
So Tammy, you're the guest co-host. I've talked enough already today. What do you want to go with this? All right. Let's help everybody out.
Let's talk about Debbie. And
all right, game on.
The amazing person that she is. And I'm gonna try really hard
Stay strong,
not to
girl.
cry.
I
am.
I'm here for you.
I got Rosie behind me. I'm
there
good.
You go.
Okay. So Debbie and I have been friends for years. She has helped me through so many times in my life, good times, bad times. We've worked on business projects together. We've done podcasts together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just an amazing person. I have seen firsthand of the amazing thing, how talented she is, how hardworking she is. Just so deserving of our help.
Yes.
And she is in this situation through no fault of her. And it's the power of social media that is going to help her. Her networks, her friends, all of us are going to help her get out of this situation because it's a bad situation. In all seriousness, it's just not good. No. And we need to get her out of it, and we can certainly help her do that.
So, obviously, I just hinted GoFundMe, right? Debbie's a close friend, family member, colleague, etc.
Yes.
You've known her longer than me. Mm-hmm. I mean,
I've known her for probably
10
years.
Okay.
At least 10 years, yeah.
And I'm like, literally in the past, 2 years-ish, maybe almost 3, because I've lost track of time, only because we work together with a bigger influencer, which I have no problem name dropping because Vinny's all about it right now. Vinny Tortorich, Fitness Confidential.
Name drop away, Scott.
Oh, yeah, because he called me a couple hours ago, and he's like, what is going on? What do I got to do? Mm-hmm. So So how long has this, I haven't even been able to have proper conversations with her because I just called her earlier and she's like, hey, I'm home and he's home. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, enough said. We'll catch up later,
Right.
And then I just got off the phone with her before I got on here with you because to help with the ruse, and also we had work to do. She's like, hey, call me back. I have some more advice on the Amazon tagging and influencer page tagging for Vinny's Instagram. So she's still running her business, trying
She
to
is
do all this. I was like,
recovering
perfect.
from surgery.
Right? Recovering from shoulder surgery.
Mm-hmm.
How long do you know that this downward spiral of abuse and violence, psychologically and emotionally, not physically, psychologically and emotionally, has started happening, going on? What's the timeline?
I want to say at least 2 years that I've known about his behavior, known about the narcissistic like behavior. She has shared things about him drinking a lot and things that have happened on trips that they've taken and family events and things like that. And it's just, so I want to say at least 2, maybe 3 years now. Was when I was kind of first told about some of this stuff that was going on. So it's been a while that these things have been happening. But I've never heard anything that would make me, like, things I found out about yesterday or the day before yesterday was like, oh my gosh, we have to do something and we have to do something now. Whatever I need to do, I'm in,
right.
So, but that's kind of the timeline as far as I'm concerned that I've been clued into this kind of stuff.
So 2 years.
At least.
Now, obviously,
at least,
because people have to understand why you and I are getting on here, not just because I turned on a GoFundMe page. That's my part. I'm techie, I'm fast, and I don't really do well with slowing down.
Right.
You have a bigger backstory too.
I do.
We're totally relating to this.
I do. I was also a victim of domestic violence in my 20s.
Wow.
Yes.
Long time ago, but still relevant.
Yes. That's been over probably 26 years or so. I can't do the math today, but
no, there's a lot of emotion here, right? But let's be real.
Yeah.
I don't care how long the timeline is.
No.
Last time I checked, whether it's social media, technology, advancements in the world, blah, 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 domestic violence doesn't necessarily change.
It doesn't.
Violence is violence. Abuse is abuse.
It is. It absolutely is. And this is not the first friend I've seen that has gone through this. When my husband was in the military, I saw it firsthand. And I even took in my friend's kids so that they were protected. So this is not the first time I've seen a good friend go through this. I want to say it probably won't be the last. I hope that it is, but I don't think that it will be because of the nature. But we've got to get out the word, and we've got to get out the awareness, and let women, because it's mostly women. I mean, yeah, like men obviously can go through it as well, but it's mostly women, and we need to provide resources or awareness or whatever we can do to help spot these things with other women and give them the resources that they need to get out and get away from this.
And let's talk about the resources. So as soon as I started jumping on stuff, luckily I happened to just check in with the wife while I was traveling. I mean, this is all happening, by the way, this week as I'm like in another state, in and out of hotels, changing cities. And I'm like, I'll catch up every evening. Mm-hmm. So I checked in with my wife 2 nights ago, like, hey, this is what's happening. Let me read you what Debbie sent me that she was okay with me posting on the GoFundMe page. Mm-hmm. Again, bit.ly/free Debbie. Yes. That bio on that page, she wrote, and she made herself sit down, write it in an email and get it to me. Well, she did it or I made her, whatever. But because I was like, it needs to be your words. I can't speak to this. I've never experienced this. I've heard of men and women. Unfortunately, the law of averages here is, unfortunately, it is more women.
Right. It is, unfortunately. Yeah.
And that's part of the awareness here, because immediately everybody's like, oh, well, it came up with my client's office today. I told her what was going on, and a different woman. And she's like, oh, well, okay, well, why don't you just leave, go to the shelter, set up the thing, get a restraining order filed immediately. Like a lot of us just who do have a clue, that's the checklist, right? Restraining order, get the police involved, women's shelter or interim housing, etc.
Church,
religion, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So, but does that always instantaneously work? Because she hasn't left yet, right?
No.
So how do I help people understand? I'm looking to understand that, right?
You know, it's really difficult, you know, because in most of the situations that I've been around, and I'd like to say I could speak for Debbie in this, but most of it's got, because they even though this is happening, they still love that person.
Absolutely.
You know, deep down, and so they don't leave, or they feel like they can't leave because then they're on their own, and what are they going to do? And so, you know, like in certain situations, like sometimes they make too much money, they can't get any kind of social services.
And she was honest with me. She said, honestly, she's like, Scott, I don't know what, she didn't tell me what she makes, but on that point, she's like, listen, I was like, well, what's the difference here? She's like, he makes a lot more money than me. I mean, but does she see it? No, which is in her bio on the page. She's like, she doesn't see it, but in the end, there's still a unfortunate authority or hierarchy established there, even though she doesn't see the true 50-50 of his higher income support. So it's intriguing.
Right. Yeah. So, you know, there's all those automatic things, you know, that even when I started hearing about some of the stuff, I'm like, well, can you do this? Can you do that? You know, all the stuff that everybody thinks of.
Yeah.
And it's just not there, you know, and it's not, I believe she feels like she just can't leave. And in a lot of situations, you just can't, because you don't have the resources, whether financial or emotional or spiritual or whatever, to just walk out. You know, I think a lot of women, you know, they eventually get to the point, or they do it on behalf of their children. But
well, in this situation, her children are already grown and gone.
Yeah, they're gone.
Are they from this relationship or a different one back in the day? I think
I don't believe they're from this.
Okay.
I want to say Debbie's only been married to him for maybe 11 or 12 years.
Okay. She again, this is the crazy part. Like, you and I are talking right now, right? We're all, I know you because I've been on your podcast and you guys are on my podcast, but it's like, so again, there's a professional relationship here. And I've always said for years, like, I don't really mix business and pleasure, but this isn't really exactly pleasure. This is awareness. So like you, myself, Debbie, we're all marketing colleagues, different companies, different businesses coming together. And now we're all banding together, like, all right, dude, let's take all of our freaking knowledge and let's get personal here. Let's get personal.
Really. Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's, and it breaks my heart to see a person like Debbie, as amazing and hardworking as she is, to be in this situation. And this is not where
it surprised me. She's strong. Like, I love her. She's kind of a ball buster half the time. I love it.
She is.
And I'm trying to make you laugh so I can keep you in the game, because I know you're emotional. But we do have to laugh a little bit to try and lighten this a little bit here. Like, dude, I was like, what? I was like, come on. Like,
we've both been on the end of okay, let's go, let's get it moving, come on, y'all. You know, so and to air this stuff out into the world is just not Debbie. It's not who she is.
It took a little convincing.
And
it sounds like you've been trying to convince her for a while too. I guess I was the straw that broke the camel's back. I don't know. I mean, you've been after for a while about this, right?
We've talked about it for a while.
Okay.
Last year specifically, we talked a lot about it. And things happened, and who knows? But there's, you know, I in this instance, it's just one of those things where I know this is not what she wanted to do, but I think she's reached a point where it's almost a point of no return.
Well, that's how this all went down. You know, like literally earlier this week, we were having a business call, and she's like, "Oh, by the way," and I have to laugh because I'm just like, I'm still trying to calculate and figure out what's all going on. I'm just going, but she's like, "Oh, so listen, you do the crowdfunding thing. I'm like, yeah. I mean, it's not exactly her words, but she's like, okay, GoFundMe. What are your thoughts? And then she just tells me what I had a feeling things weren't great in the relationship.
Yeah.
And she's hinted before that he's an alcoholic, but I had no idea. She's talked about leaving and all this stuff. And then like, she tells me and I'm like, what? Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, here's what we got to do. I said, yes, GoFundMe is what we need to do for you. This is not a Kickstarter for a company. This is not an Indiegogo campaign to crowdfund an amazing, healthy movie. Shout out to Vinny Tortorich. Because I want him to share the heck out of this. You know, our NSNG community, no sugar, no grains, our fat doc community, fat documentary. There's so many healthy fans out there. Debbie is the secret weapon behind all of that from a technology standpoint. She runs the website. She fixes the website. She's helped with the free PDF that he's helped hundreds of thousands of people get healthier and lose weight with. Enough about that. I'm just giving you just want to give a shout out to that community because I want them sharing the heck out of this so they know what's going on.
Right.
I was like, okay, yes, GoFundMe is the way to go. There's a lot of GoFundMes out there. They're unfortunately, like, I've seen some campaigns and I'm like, all right, dude, I'm not here to help you buy a dog. Like, right? Like, I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
Right. We have all seen the various GoFund things.
Oh, somebody hit my car. Okay, so you have a dented door. Deal with it. If you don't have the money, you have a first world problem. You have a car that has a dent in the door and you don't want to claim it on your insurance because maybe you didn't pay for collision. It's not my problem. This is a whole different level.
Right.
This is something affecting hundreds of thousands of people around the world, especially in this country, men, women, black, white, yellow, green. I don't care. This is a real problem. I am lucky to not have personally experienced this with any of my closest friends and family.
You are very lucky, my friend. Very lucky.
Right? But that's why I have you here. Because we need to really set the precedent here. It's like, I'm just a vehicle. I need people like you, unfortunately, that are willing to step up and share that story because yes, we turned on the GoFundMe. Yes, I convinced her to send me the bio so I could put it up here.
Yeah.
But we're not done.
No, it's not done.
Yeah. It just launched today.
Yeah.
Granted, we've raised $1,385 already of our $7,300 goal.
That's amazing. That truly is amazing.
I don't even know how many hours ago I turned it on. I think it was like 8 hours ago. So
maybe. Yeah.
8 hours. 8 hours ago. Yeah.
I saw it at like 10:30 when I got back home. Debbie shared the link for your thing, and I was like, wait, whoa, hold on. I didn't know. I mean, I knew we were doing it. I didn't know we were doing it today. And I'm
again, you know why? Because I told her, it's like yesterday, I was driving back from upstate New York. I was about 3 hours from home. And I said, listen, when I got home, you got to get me whatever I need. I'm going to figure it all out. I'm going to wake up Friday morning. All the work gets pushed off and it's happening.
Yeah.
I was like, you'll know it because I'm not going to tell you until it's live. And then I finished the campaign and I'm like, turned it on. And 5 minutes later, I was like, well, since we're going live, let's go live. And I went live on Facebook and nobody was ready. I didn't text anybody. That's why like Vinny and all these people all day long, people were calling and texting me like, what is going on? I was like, sorry, I had no time.
Right.
We got to rip the lid off. Awareness requires just go. Get as many voices behind it. So we're still in that first 24-hour push because you didn't have this opportunity 26 years ago.
No. I was lucky. I had very supportive friends and family that basically said, you're out. Let's go. Just grab whatever you can grab and let's go. I was injured at the time and I had several people that said, you do not have a choice. It is what it is. Let's go. Yeah. And so I was very lucky in that I had those kinds of resources, that other people had money to help me with all the stuff.
Yeah. Thank goodness.
Yeah. And, but like I said, I've known lots of people, even when we were doing my husband was in active duty Army. We saw it firsthand. Yeah. Like I said, we had my friend's children, I took in 3 children. I didn't even ask my husband. I just said, come on, let's go. Come on, kids, you're coming home with me.
And thank God, I mean, that you did that.
Yeah.
And I can't even say luckily, because we're still dealing with a human life here, but luckily we're just helping. I can't even say it right? I don't know how to say it. We're helping
Yeah.
Debbie. Luckily, there is not. Her children are grown. They're adults. They were not susceptible to the past 11 years that apparently in the past 2 years got worse. But we still have a person's life.
We do.
And it's like, I don't want to say it's hanging in a balance, but I'm
It
sorry.
is.
We all watch and listen to these crazy crime stuff or podcasts and movies and everything else. And Lonnie brought it up earlier today. Shout out to Lonnie Beauchamp, because I just went on his podcast about this, and he said, dude, he's like, I just studied this he's like, I watched the crime stuff. They said, okay, emotional, psychological, that's one thing. Holding up a fist in front of your face, making you think you're going to get punched, but he doesn't. Again, he has not physically assaulted her yet. But I tell people all the time, the psychological scars are worse because you can't see them. And then
that's true.
Per her bio, the breaking point was when he threw her pet across their pet. Now clearly her pet, because he doesn't love
pet.
Him, across the house or across the room. And I'm like, he said, dude, Scott, that's bad. I'm like, why? He's like, that's officially moved to the physical stage. They said that's a sign that it's on a downward spiral. And statistically, it has shown that things can and will get worse because you stopped with the pet this time. What's next?
Debbie.
Right.
Debbie's next. And, like we said, she's hardcore, man. She is a tough Southern lady.
Dude, you can't hear in her voice at all. I told you, just got off a business call with her, and she's like everything's normal.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
She's a trooper.
In a group text message with her and one other friend, and she's talking about this and talking about that, and I was just like, oh my, I'd be a basket case right about now.
Yeah.
I would. I'd be. I would be like, hey, Debbie, help me, because I don't know what to do. And if someone like Debbie, who is as strong as anybody that I know, can be in this kind of situation, then, anybody can.
Yeah.
It's, so we need to help her and get the awareness out, and and it's not, you might think, well, it might just be because, younger people with, because there's money issues or there's kid issues, and it just kind of escalates from there.
She's a grown woman.
I'm not going to throw out her age.
No.
Because
we'll just say this. She's got over 50 years of life experience. Is that a fair generalization?
That is a fair, a woman of a certain age.
Right. So she's got half of her life achieved. So it's even harder that at this stage in the game, because actually I saw a friend of hers share the post, and because I see the shares from my show earlier today, and she was saying how the problem is women, and probably men too, I don't know, but women in these situations, and again, these are her words, not mine, especially if you're aging, you're getting older, it gets harder to make these changes. You've gotten used to it. You've accepted it. You've turned the blind eye, so to speak, so many times that it's become robotic.
Exactly. And the older you get, the harder it becomes to leave and make those changes and have that transition. And I'll say I'm 47 and if this was happening to me, it would be very difficult. And my kids are grown. My kids are 18 and 21. Yeah. It would be very difficult for me to have to go through this. And I can't imagine where Debbie is at in her life to have to go through this and deal with the transition and the change and whatever else happens between now and then.
Well, and that kind of hit more deeply when I was talking to Lonnie and Ruel earlier for their new show about this. And because like Lonnie's brand, like he's a restoration guy. His company, he helps people restore their homes and their lives after damage and stuff. Right. So I'm not trying to plug him. I'm trying to plug a point here is that he's a restoration guy. And we were trying to find a way to close the show out. He literally had to pause it and make Ruel edit that out later because he was trying to find a way to put it into words. And I said, listen, dude, I was like, anything that you do, I do, or anybody else, we're not necessarily even getting her to the restoration phase yet. We're just trying. She officially doesn't have a life there anymore. She has to unplug. She has to get out. She has to start anew. So we're not even at a restoration phase. We're just trying to get her to a state of normal. I mean, I know normal is a very broad term, but trust me, that's not normal. We need to get her out of that abnormal situation, unhealthy situation, dangerous situation, and get her at least to a balance point, a state of normal. We'll worry about the restoration and the growth later.
Right. Exactly.
And that's what I think a lot of people underestimate about these situations.
You know, that is the most important part. One of the words that she used in her bio that struck me was peace. She doesn't have any. She's tired. Yeah. And she just wants some peace. And hearing those words from her, it hit me like a ton of bricks. It honestly did.
I got chills. I'm wearing a jacket right now, but literally as you're saying this, I literally felt my hair stand up because I've read the words on multiple podcasts. Actually, I may even read it on this one again, since you're talking about her words, because I think people need to hear them. They do go and see them. But finish your thought, and then maybe we'll read her words. So
sure, yeah, but to hear that coming from someone who I've known for years, we've had many personal conversations about life in general, good stuff, bad stuff, all in between, and to hear her use the words peace, it's all she wants. Yeah, is just, oh my gosh, that should be your everyday. Your everyday should be peaceful in a sense where you don't have to worry about what's going to happen to you. I go to sleep at night and know that, no matter what happens throughout my day, my husband loves me, my kids love me, and I'm okay and I'm at peace with my life. Yeah. No matter what client is going, we forgot this or whatever. That's all really minimal stuff compared to, but Debbie does not have that, and she deserves that. We all deserve it, but especially Debbie.
Yeah. And, on that note, you think it's a good time to throw some of her words in?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Or all the words.
Yeah. Yeah, let's
hear
it.
Now, to respect your, unfortunately, personal story, it's probably better I read them, right?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'm not trying to make a joke. I'm trying to be serious.
No.
I don't want to make you cry. So
No.
So let's do this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're streaming this live on Facebook. I've already said these earlier today, but right now I'm trying to pump as much live content as I can behind it. So, and real quick, I've been saying, that's why I put this at the beginning of the bio. The first paragraph are my words on her behalf. Debbie's own words are below. I'm reading it right now for you, for the listeners. We want to preface this by saying, if we exceed our campaign goal, we will work together to make a donation to a women's shelter, community center, transition housing, whatever it may be, named at a later date. But to Vinny and some other close people's points, Tammy, we don't know. Like, she set a really fair budget of only $7,300, and I'll break that down when I'm done. When I'm sharing the words here at the end. She literally breaks it down for you. She's actually a smart woman. She's not being crazy. She's not trying to have people pay for her life. But a lot of other people are like, let's wait and see what it's going to cost for her to upheave her entire life and start over again. And then, then if we can still make a donation, great. And I appreciated that feedback, because I don't even know. I've never had to do this. So that being said, here's her current life transparency words as I said it. Here we go. I'm a victim of domestic violence. I've now learned there's nowhere to turn. With your help, I can avoid being a casualty. Like most women, I never thought I would be here. Yet I am. I'm living with emotional and verbal abuse, worrying if each day it will turn to physical. It started slowly. The first time he threatened me, I wrote it off as a mistake. The next time I blamed myself. Then I declared it would be the last time. It wasn't. After a while, I stopped bothering to make excuses. The abuse started to feel normal. Recently, things have gotten worse. It's bad enough now that I have realized I need to run or I will die this way. Those words hit me hard, by the way, Tammy.
Me too.
Let me continue on. He's a functional alcoholic. I've actually met people like this, so I get it, who fires off insults and gaslights my every move. While he doesn't remember what he said or done the night before, he denies it ever happens and blames it on me. He's threatened to lock me out, has drawn a fist and aimed it at my face and told me to get the hell out and take nothing. Everything to his way of thinking, belongs to him. 30 minutes too long at the grocery store, and I've been with a boyfriend. And that sets off another round of insults. Nothing is my business. I'm his wife, right? That's her parentheses there.
Right.
His health, his finances, nothing. Nothing is shared by him. He has to know the details of every penny I spend. And then his tossing a beloved pet across the room triggered my breaking point. So there's only a couple paragraphs left, ladies and gentlemen. I would just leave, but I cannot afford to leave everything behind. As a woman of a certain age, it's hard to recoup financially to be able to start over. Although I've contributed to our household as well as furniture and household goods that I purchased myself, he says I have no right to them, not even my personal clothes. I have pets that I love and do not want to abandon. I need to escape. I work, but paying medical bills from a recent shoulder surgery, which we just talked about, has left my coffers drained. He's my husband, but refuses to pay my medical expenses or help. He pays towards rent and utilities, part, but not full. But the rest of everything is on me. This campaign is to help me get the resources I need to leave quickly and safely, with the goal of raising funds by March 15th, 2020. I don't even like that date. I want her to get out now. Closing words here. I'm tired, y'all. I'm not a Southerner, but it's my best attempt. I'm tired, y'all. Really
Very
tired.
good, Scott.
I'm scared. I'm trying. I'm scared. If I don't get out now, I won't. At least not whole anyway. I hate airing my dirty laundry. But what I've been told is that I'm deserving of help, and this is not my shame. It's his. I'm asking for help to restart my life where I can live, here's your word, peacefully and without fear. Debbie Tortorigi. And again, I'll go ahead and quickly define it. It's shown right here on the screen, ladies and gentlemen, that, she's not asking for a lot. I set the exact math based on the math she gave me, $7,300 goal. Obviously, I want to exceed this, but she said, hey, you know what? I've already talked to an attorney, so I need $3,000 up front to help just secure some legal protection. $3,000
Which she needs.
Oh yeah. Because there's other things that she didn't even mentioned that I know about. $3,000 for 3 months of living, rent, and utility expenses, which, by the way, I don't know where she's talking about moving to, but I mean, she must be moving into low income housing. I don't know. I mean, but I mean, she's being so fair to herself. I'm like, you're crazy. $800 for movers, because again, she just has shoulder surgery, people. She can't lift anything.
No, she can't.
And that's if she can even move anything, because we don't know what's going to happen in the coming days. She might have to go and leave it all behind. And then $500 in like running around money.
Right.
So, and Lonnie and I just talked about this on his show. We're like, dude, this is nothing. Like, this is not a lot of money at all.
It really isn't, but it's astronomical to Debbie.
Right.
And that's the crazy part about it. $3,000 for 3 months of living expenses. I mean, that that's crazy.
Right.
But I know where she's going roundabout. I'm not going to say it on here just for her own protection.
Okay.
But it will be in another state. And it is going to be in the South.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's relatively on point for her and what she's going to be going toward.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but it's not a lot of money.
No,
it really isn't.
She's being very low plan. And I don't want to say low planning, but like she's being very fair.
Yes. But I also know that she does not want to have to do this, but it's what's necessary in order to get her out of this situation and into something where she does have peace and she's safe, and none of us have to worry about getting that phone call or that text message, because I don't want to get it. And I know you don't either, Scott.
Oh God, none of us do, right? I mean, if I got to take that call, I will. I mean, but for God's sakes, we don't want that, right?
No, and we don't have to.
No. So, I mean, I don't think we need to draw it out like crazy long, but I mean, is there other
No.
things we're missing? I mean, because I hate to admit, I mean, you've already said it. You've come from here. You understand this more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is a different kind of podcast I've never really normally aired. You know, we're living in the moment, real time, right now.
Right.
Is there other stuff that we need to know or understand about this situation?
You know, the situation, I think, has it's escalated
Okay.
quickly, from an event that happened last year. It escalated to the point where I don't even think I was aware of exactly how bad it had gotten.
Okay.
So some of the things that when she sent this in a group text for us to kind of help her get her words together,
Mm-hmm.
considering we knew what was going on, was a surprise to me. And
Why do you say surprise?
because I don't think that, like, for myself, that I knew it was as bad as it was. But knowing Debbie, it was only, we were only given bits of information that she was willing to share. Maybe she didn't want to share too much because of the situation. And the one thing I do know about her husband, obviously he's a functional alcoholic. He does have a job. But he's also, what I like, based on what she's told me, he's a narcissist. And that's where the gaslighting thing comes into effect. And it
took me a while to figure out what she was talking about that, by the way. I was like, is that a Southern term? Like gaslighting? I was like, I don't know. I mean,
yeah.
I think it's important. People might have heard what I said, and they're probably with me like, what do you mean by that? I mean, obviously it sounds bad. I think it sounds like he's like spit-fired off of things. Like it's an igniter. Like it's,
yes.
I don't know. Okay.
Yes. I mean, basically like I could say the sky is blue, and a narcissist personality, like, which I believe her husband does have in conjunction with other things.
Sure.
Will take that and go, oh yeah, well no, the sky is green, and then they'll just go off.
Okay.
So it's taking something that's really small, very innocent sounding, that will turn it into something else. Yeah. Like the grocery thing that she refers to. So, it's sometimes it's just not as easy as just go and leave, because you can't. And you can't try and get along. You can't try and do counseling, No. It doesn't work.
Well, I mean, here, I'll screen share again. I decided while you were saying this to just throw a couple of descriptions of narcissism out there, right? So, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking on healthline.com, but I also did was Google narcissism. And it's one of the first articles came up, 11 signs you're dating a narcissist and how to get out. So clearly other people talk about this. There's actually a narcissistic personality disorder, NPD. I mean, it's officially a documented mental health condition. But the first four things they talk about here: an inflated sense of self-importance, a deep need for excessive attention and admiration. Here we go. Lack of empathy for others, and often having troubled relationships. So I don't even have to go any deeper. I mean, that's
right.
Basically what we're talking about.
I'm not a counselor. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a licensed anything.
Yeah.
I have spent most of my life dealing with a narcissist, a person who has narcissistic personality.
Yeah.
That is no longer part of my life. Thank you very much. But a lot of what she has told me about him is very indicative of this person that I know. And that's what they do. They make everything about them. Oh. They will lie straight to your face. But the thing is that they believe that lie because it is what it is. So
they actually reference gaslighting, by the way. I had to bring this up for the screen share.
Okay.
It's actually an official term. I didn't even think about this. Like, okay, you guys are using, we're learning so much right now. Right. So they gaslight you. It's a form of manipulation and emotional abuse, and it's a hallmark of narcissism. Yes. This is only number 7 of 11. Narcissists may spew blatant lies, falsely accuse others, spin the truth, and ultimately distort your reality. Right. Signs of gaslighting. You no longer feel like the person you used to be. And again, so this is what Debbie's going through, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not talking about her significant other. You feel more anxious and less confident than you used to be. You often wonder if you're being too sensitive. You feel like everything you do is wrong. You always think it's your fault when things go wrong. You're apologizing too often. You have a sense that something's wrong, but aren't able to identify what it is. You often question whether your response to your partner is appropriate. You make excuses for your partner's behavior. Wow.
Yep.
I mean,
absolutely.
That's like psychological reprogramming by your negative other half. Like they really reprogrammed you to make you think it's all your problem.
And then what you do is you start to kind of walk on eggshells around them, so you don't do anything that's going to set them off, because you don't know what you're going to get if you do set them off.
And that was one of the 11 steps. Number 10 was they panic when you try to break up with them. That's my biggest concern. Like, there's no breaking up. You just got to go.
Yeah.
Right now.
And she's going to have to go in whether, I don't know, in the dark of night or maybe when he's at work or whatever, but it's going to require some planning.
Yeah.
You know?
And actually, I'm going to link this in the blog notes because this is a really good article. I got to share this again because you and I are reinforcing us. Number 11, and when you show them you're really done, they lash out.
Oh,
and
yeah.
This is big. I mean, they have a couple of tips here. I mean, how to prepare for a breakup with a narcissist. Constantly remind yourself that you deserve better. That's people like you are helping her with that. Strengthen your relationships with your empathetic friends. I've been told that I was a narcissist, but clearly I'm empathetic. So I don't know what people are talking about.
You're not a narcissist,
thank
Scott.
You. I don't know. People need to look at this definition because this is harsh. But reality. Build a support network with friends and family who can help remind you what is reality. So good. She's actually doing some of this. Whether she likes it or not, we're making her do this. Yes. Urge your partner to go to therapy. I think we're past that. And get a therapist yourself. That's something else I don't think she realizes, that part of that down the road expenses, like she hasn't mentioned anything about actually giving herself self-care. Right now, it's just an escape plan.
Yeah. I think she's just trying to stay alive and survive each day. And self-care is not on the radar, or
even capable of being on the horizon yet.
Yeah.
Because
I think she's
stuck in it.
Yeah. Yeah. She's in the trenches, and the only thing, I think again, Debbie, I'm speaking for you. And if I'm wrong, text me, but I'm sure she will. But she's deep in the trenches, and she's just trying to survive the day.
Yeah. And that was one of the reasons why I pushed this. I could tell, again, her being the tough chick that she is, marketing professional, website guru, et cetera. I'm just like, okay, you got to go. And whether you like it or not. And that's why when I gave her the green light on the GoFundMe, I immediately said, because I had a feeling, I was like, I'll launch it for you. I said,
which I'm glad you did.
I'll be honest, there's a strategic advantage there. I find that when I look at campaigns started by close friends or families on behalf of the person, it helps add a little legitimacy. Let's be real.
It does. It does.
And I also, let's be real. I mean, I've already seen friends and family starting to share the post that I've already put up. So I'm not the only one who notices it. Vinny's traveling right now, but when he called me, he said he already called Andy. His one company, Pure Vitamin Club, put the first 1,000 in. I turned it on, put 100 in just to get it up off the line, and then a few people throwing a little money here, but they already threw 1,000 in. Vinny's going to throw another 1,000 in later when he can.
Good job, Vinny.
Right? I mean, that shows how big of a heart he is. So yes, I have no problem giving him some spotlighting here because we are her inner circle.
We are
professionally, and now we're getting a little personal.
And I think she's been a big part of the blogging arena for years and years and years. And I think if all those, I hate to use this term, mommy bloggers knew of which Debbie we're talking about, if they don't already know, they would be just throwing money, because she has helped so many people.
See, I don't even know this. You're teaching me something. I don't know that.
Yeah. I mean, she has helped so many bloggers, even her own client group, which I help her run, would probably be like just throwing money
And that's why we did this, right? I
Yeah.
mean, I know that eventually, as her walls hopefully start to progressively come down, and that's part of this. Like in the end, yeah, did I push her for the GoFundMe? Well, to be fair, she asked me about it. So I was like, well, sorry, you just asked me about something that I know how to do. And I know that if I just give you the tips, who knows when it gets turned on. So I said,
It
well,
would.
sorry, you got me in on this now. So it's going up, whether you like it or not. And she's like, no, you're right. I need to do this.
Good.
She's
I'm
like,
glad she listened.
and that helped me feel a lot better. Cause like you've been pushing her, other people have been pushing her. And it's like, if you don't do it now, when are you going to do it? And something Lonnie and Ruel brought up earlier when we were podcasting on their show together, like, dude, we don't want to worry anymore about what ifs. We got to go.
Right.
We got to get it going. So, and that's why we did all this.
Exactly. And thank you for getting her over that line, Scott.
I don't know why she listened to me. I mean, again, I think you and other people drilled it into her head enough that I was just that final straw that broke the camel's back, or whatever term you want to use.
Yeah.
Who cares? In the end, as a group and a community, it worked.
Yeah, it did. So we, so I've been as a friend, and I mean, she's like a sister and a mama to me, all rolled into one, to see the support starting to come in just makes me so happy.
Yeah.
It really does. And I know we are going to get her out of the situation. It's just a matter of when, and hopefully it's sooner rather than later.
Well, the other we'll go with a business tip here. The other beauty of GoFundMe is I've already emailed her invite to accept and set up the real-time transfers, because right now, that's the whole point of running this, is she needs money in her account to give her the freedom. So we don't have it all yet, but at least if and when she can get a free moment to hide herself and get on her computer and safely set all this up, you can start setting up the transfers. I've made sure that, and again, ladies and gentlemen, the campaign is in my name and her name, and now Tammy's name, because you joined the team too.
Yes, thank you.
But there's only one person that has been invited to withdraw the monies. Debbie.
Yep.
I have nothing to do with this. We are just orchestrators, inviters, and fundraisers. That's
it. So it all goes to her. Yeah. And then, like you said, once we reach that amount, then if there's any other monies left over, then we'll figure out what.
I'm already thinking down the road, because she's such a strong woman. Once she's let her walls down, allowed herself to get out, protect herself, start the healing process. She's such a strong woman. I told her, it's like, who knows, down the road, you might become a very positive influencer out there about this exact topic. Like you could be right now inspiring other women and other people going through domestic violence, domestic abuse, because it does happen everywhere. And there's other people out there that have already inspired change for other people.
Absolutely.
But you have to keep it going. Not everybody's affected by that person or that person. Debbie could be the new trigger for other people. So this is now one day it could become bigger than just her. And that's what I can hope out of all this too.
Yeah. If this causes us, I mean, obviously we're going to help Debbie, but if it helps anybody else down the road to go, you know what, if she can do it, I can do it kind of mentality.
Oh yeah.
Then awesome.
Yeah.
And continue that awareness. I mean, because it's so important to know kind of what you're dealing with.
Speaking about the awareness, great way to kind of bring the show to a close, because you and I need to get back out there and keep sharing and getting more people going.
We do.
But I thought about that just now. It's like, you've been here. You could speak to this. In the modern era now, if you were talking to somebody like Debbie, older or younger,
sure,
what would be your top recommendations? Again, you're not a professional counselor, but you've been here. What are your top recommendations, like, to take action besides taking action? Like, that's the top one. Like, start taking actions to get yourself out of this. But like, what are some best practices that people should be sharing?
I would say, number one, find your tribe, your circle of support that is going to be there when you start to waver. Okay. When you start to go, oh, well, maybe it was this, or maybe it was that. No, it's not maybe. It's, you need to leave this relationship. This is not a good place for you to be. It is not a safe place for you to be. So you need those people in place that are going to, call you on the carpet and say, you know what? Nope, you're not wavering. I'm not going to let you. You need to we're going to continue moving forward with this, no matter what your emotions are. So that there's a level-headed person that they trust, they feel secure and safe and at peace with.
Yeah.
That can kind of help guide them. And whether that's a therapist, a group of friends, whoever, family.
Or in this case, random professional colleagues that just decided to take it to a more personal level.
Right.
But in the
exactly.
end, she's making changes. Okay. So we got a safety circle of positive influencers, give you that fortitude that you need to kind of strengthen the psychology, because you've already been beat up psychologically anyway.
Right.
Hopefully not physically yet, but clearly psychologically and emotionally. What else?
The other thing I would, look at, where do you, what is your plan to kind of create this plan, even if it has to be in your own head, because maybe he checks your computer, he checks your social, he checks your phone, whatever the case may be, is to kind of have that plan kind of figured out in your head. Okay, if this is where I'm going to go, who is in that area that can help me and provide me a safe place until I can find an apartment, or I can find some sort of transitional housing. So you kind of have it, even if it's in your head, you kind of have that planned out, so that there's that you can find resources. If you're going to go from here to, let's say, Florida, and I'm not saying this where she's going, I'm just using that as an example.
It's a beautiful state. It's very warm. I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
I'm more of a skier though, but hey, if you want to go there, go there.
I'm in Iowa, so I would gladly go to Florida, but but to kind of have that plan and then look for the resources there that you're going to need. Do you know someone that's there that can help you wherever you're going to go? So that would be the other thing, is to kind of have it kind of planned out in your head. What are you going to need? How much money do you need to have, and is there a way to raise that money, or to find that money through, maybe if you're able to tap into social programs, or ask
have weirdos like us all of a sudden doing a GoFundMe.
Just saying, get Tammy and Scott to raise the money for you.
But I think these tips are important, because again, my wife paused me before I turned this sucker on. And the night before, 2 nights before, she's like, get back with her and double check. Has she started reaching out to law enforcement to get that ball in motion? Luckily, they have a neighbor who's a sheriff, and the sheriff's aware of it. So that made me feel a whole lot better when I heard that. But also, because my wife's like, Scott, it's not about the money. Like in this situation, sometimes, where's the women's shelter? Where's the transitional housing? Or do you have that close family member or friend that could put you up for a couple of days a ways away, like not within reach of your old home? You got to get out and make sure that is unplugged, safe. People don't know where you're at. And then you can worry about the money. I think a lot of us focus on the money.
Exactly. So my thing is create that plan, of where are you going to go? Who can you rely on? Who's going to be there to help you? Look and see what's out there, get in contact with law enforcement, and get some of those things rolling. And then, figure out when is going to be your opportunity to put this plan in motion, and then go forward with that.
Okay.
So.
Well, I appreciate, I think we all appreciate it. Actually, no, it's not even about me. Debbie, I think, appreciates you taking the time to hop on, not just a Facebook Live, but this is going to be the podcast world, it's going to be the YouTube world. You being truthful and transparent is an inspiration. So
thanks, Scott. I appreciate that.
I can't speak to that. That's why I was so honored when you reached out, like, oh my God, yes, please. Like, let's do this, because I have a big mouth, but I can't directly speak to this situation.
And the only reason I'm not doing it for any other reason, but because my friend is in trouble, and I'm going to do whatever I have to do to help her get out of that situation. And
I love it.
I'm not going to cry.
I know. You're fighting it off. That's okay. I'll close this out for you. Ladies and gentlemen, my traditional podcasting format, we always have people give us some final words. I'm not going to ask for anything more. She just did it with a lot of emotion and fought back to tears. But again, I'm going to screen share one more time here for the video feed. This will be up on the YouTube in a couple of days because I already have another show that from this morning that I will be airing. But again, if you just want to go to the GoFundMe.com site and search for Help Free Debbie from Domestic Violence, that's the name of the campaign. Again, I made a quick and easy link. It's just bit.ly, so bit.ly/Free Debbie. We're tweeting it. It's Facebooking. It'll be in the YouTubing. I'll probably throw it out to my professional space in the LinkedIn world because LinkedIn has gotten a little bit more personable. It's still a professional platform, but again, she's a colleague. She's a professional. And at this point in time, I don't care. I'll reach out to every part of my network to get this out there because the message needs to be shared. And I can't wait to help Debbie get to the point in her life where she actually is potentially impacting and inspiring other people. But for now, let's get her free. Let's get her restarting. Let's get her back to normal, as Lonnie kind of mentioned, a new normal for her. So again, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in to another special public service announcement podcast for Live the Fuel. Again, we're here to fuel your health, business, and lifestyle. But our call to action today is let's all do that for Debbie. Again, bit.ly/Free Debbie. Thanks for tuning in. You too go live the fuel and let's free Debbie. Talk to you guys again soon.